Well, hello there, young men and women of mazske finance world. Hopefully you're doing outstanding. It's Monday, October the 28th, year 2024. My goodness, just realized it's been about a month or so since I made a video. My apologies. Been extremely busy. As you might know, 2 hurricanes came through here since I've been here, but survived just well. House did fine. So anyway, how do you like that missus back there in the picture? Blue lips, blue hand. Anyway, hopefully you're doing outstanding. As you probably realize, investing creates many options, right? And as you know, I got a disclaimer, but I'll give it to you in a minute. First of all, I did start a health group, but I did disband that health group. Why? I had one of you viewers who want to sign up, leave the group. I had 2 other people write me. It's like, and I'll paraphrase and put it in my own words. It's like, how dare you? You are not a doctor. How are you having a health group teaching us about nutrition, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's my own words based on their message to me. So I was like, okay, people don't appreciate it, I'll disband it. Because why? I have listened to and read many blogs, articles, YouTube videos, et cetera, books from doctors who reference actual studies. Doctors in the United States of America base their thoughts usually on studies that have results. Okay, some doctors may give relationships like based on my patients doing such and such, 97% of them seem to have gotten better. There's been no scientific evidence yet, but it's whatever they call it, cause and effect, an association, right? So until they do a study, they don't know if it's correct or not, but it seems like if everyone's doing it, like the old folks, our ancestors, they had many own cures from medicine, let's say, from plants and trees, etc. So anyway, shame on you guys that said that to me, or shame on you that left the group. You guys do not know what you're missing. So with that being said, I'm mazske Finance. I'm not a financial advisor, not a CPA, not an attorney, and I'm not a doctor, not a nutritionist. However, I'm a guy who plans to live for about another 50 years or so. I could be proven wrong. I might walk outside and get my mail today, get hit by a runaway truck. Okay, so there's no guarantees in life. But investing does create options for you. So why haven't you started? Have you started? What do? What do? There is a wealth of information all around us. We live in the information world. And yet, millions upon millions upon millions of Americans do not invest. Some still say it's gambling. And yet, legalized gambling has gone crazy. You can bet on sports now. When I watch sporting events, I see commercials for legalized gambling to bet on the sport event. This person will do this person bet over, bet under. Gambling, lottery tickets, it's ignorance, man. It's the government's tax on the ignorance of Americans who buy lottery tickets. I think that's kind of how they say it. Because statistically, the odds of winning is teeny tiny. And yet, look at that jackpot grow. And millions upon millions of people buy those lottery tickets. It's only $1, it's only $2, only $5, only $10. But look in the stores sometime where they sell them. You might see people going in that look disheveled in a way, buying a whole ream of tickets. Maybe they're scratch-off tickets, whatever. So anyway, don't gamble. Invest. How do you invest? Many ways. Easiest way in the world is open up Schwab account, a Robinhood account, some kind of account. I'm not familiar with Robinhood, never used it, but there are various accounts. Buy an index fund, an S&P 500 index fund. Okay, now, my opinion, because every single economist will give you their opinion. I'm not an economist either, but I have opinions. I think the stock market is way overvalued. It's been going up for an awfully long time. Earnings do not relate to the altitude of the market. It's going to come down one day. I'm not going to say when. I don't know when. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, it might be next week, next month, it might be next decade. I don't know when, but you can't predict it. Meaning, if you put all your eggs in that basket, and let's say it's starting to grow a little bit. You've been doing it for the last 15 years. You've had your ups and downs and whatnot, it's starting to grow. and then it drops 50, 60, 70, 80%. Don't come crying to me, because it will happen. I watched it happen during the dot-com crash back in 2001. I had stocks go down 95%. Think about that. If I had $1 million in that, I wouldn't have $1 million after it dropped 95%, but I didn't have that much money. Not at all, not even close, not even $50,000, not even $20,000 back then, not even, barely $10,000. So how do you get started investing? Sure, you can invest in a broad-based stock index fund, and it's not going to drop 95%, I don't think. It might drop 40%. It might flatline for a decade or two like Japan did back in the 90s. I don't know. It might drop 90% and then just start, when it's at the bottom, start that climb again. My hand's going up. Start that climb where over the next 20 years it gets back to where it was today. Or maybe it takes 10 years. Or maybe it takes 5 years. Or maybe it does in 6 months. But what happens time after time after time, after decade after decade after decade? When the market crashes, it's up here. Money's piling in. When it crashes and it's at near the bottom or on the way down, money's pulling out. That means these people are selling as it's going down. But if you put more money in when it's down, it will come back up one day, but it might take years. And you gotta look at what your age is. So what's a better way to invest? You know what it is. If you watch my channel, you know what it is. Buy a rental property. All right? It's not that complicated. Anybody almost can buy one rental property, buy a single family home. How do you do it? You need a place to live, right? Yeah. Can you buy a house to live in? All of you are different. Some of you are struggling to get a down payment to buy a house to live in. You know, some of you are content to rent. But if you do need some place to live, and if you can't afford the down payment, because you can get sometimes 5% down to buy a home to live in, buy a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex. Live in one of the units, rent out the others. The incoming rent might pay your mortgage. Think about that. You could be living for free or close to free. Or say you buy a house like I buy. I've thought about this since I've been here. I haven't done it because I don't need to, but I have a 4-bedroom house here, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I'm here by myself. I could rent out one of the other bedrooms, couldn't I? Yeah, I've thought about it, but I got one kitchen, and I am a private person, kind of, sort of. So I don't want another person living in my house that I don't know. You know, if I know you, that's different, okay? So, but not just a stranger, all right? So rental property, stocks, oil, mineral rights and oil drilling. I have investments in both. I like them. I like mineral rights better than rental property. I've said it, right? Now, I like rental property. Don't get me wrong. I do like rental property. And I will always keep rental property. And I'll probably buy more rental property. But mineral rights, there's no liability. There's no tenants. There's no repairs. There's no vacancies. There's no capital expenditures. There's no insurance. There's no nothing. It's just you buy it and you got to have cash. And let's say you make an investment. Just say now, new investors with the company I use, you need a minimum $25,000 down. So say you got the $25,000 and you got to be accredited. I've talked about accreditation. Accreditation is, look it up. I won't explain it now. But accreditation, I'll tell you real quick. You got to have a net worth of $1 million or better, or have high enough income, 2 consecutive years of at least $200,000 if you're single, $300,000 if you're married, with the perspective that you will continue that high income, okay? If you got super high income these 2 years, then it drops down, maybe you're no longer accredited if it's based just on income. Most folks accredited get it through their net worth, but not all of them. Though doctors and lawyers and such on may get it through the high income without having that net worth just yet, all right? But if you buy mineral rights, once you buy them, it takes 6 months to get your first revenue check, roughly 180 days, roughly. No guarantee on that. It might be 3 months. It might be 9 months, but roughly 6 months. Once you get it, checks and its electronic deposits should continue for the rest of your life without ever paying one more cent. What you might pay one more cent for, though, is to buy more mineral rights acres, because you'll learn you like it. And it's good to be diversified too and buy more, because when you buy more, you're not buying the same portfolio. You're buying a different portfolio, means a different spot of ground, which means you have different wells, and then you're diversified better. I buy a lot in Oklahoma. I do have some in Texas. I have an oil drilling investment that drills in Texas. They have something in Colorado, they have something in Wyoming, they have something in Oklahoma, I think, and I think they're in like 5 different states. They're diversified. The returns haven't been the greatest yet, but returns are getting better. My returns just this month, if I annualized it, would have been like, what would it work out to? 7.98, maybe, an annualized percentage. There's nothing to write home about, but what's the historical stock market average? 7 to 9%. That's right in there. Plus, it gave me a very big tax write-off the very first year, and I get other smaller tax write-offs every single year because of that working interest investment. So there's all kinds of ways to invest. All right. I have dabbled in crypto. I don't like it. There's nothing, you can't touch it. Okay. But there are people out there who say it doesn't matter. You can become a billionaire with crypto. Okay, to each their own. I'm not telling you not to do it. You might become the next millionaire/billionaire with crypto. All right. I like substance. I'm old school. I also like coffee. All right. Do you drink coffee? Coffee is one of the healthiest drinks out there that the majority of Americans drink it. Not everybody. The majority do. Tea is also an extremely healthy drink. Coffee is a bean. It's a seed. And the health benefits, there's studies, not just cause and effect or relationships or associations. Studies have shown people that drink coffee all their life compared to people who do not drink coffee, on average, live longer. On average, they get less cognitive decline. Because coffee, if you drink coffee, you know this, you're half asleep in the morning, you drink it, it clears the cobwebs up, right? Literally, it clears the cobwebs up. Alzheimer's, dementia is like plaque or something building up in your brain, clogging it up. It clears up the cobwebs. It helps at least. Now, along with that, you don't want to eat a terrible diet. You want to eat a better diet so that you're helping yourself. All right. So that being said, why do I talk about this kind of stuff? Why? Well, I'll give you an example. I know I live in Panama too, the country of Panama. 2 gentlemen that I've met one, I know who the other one is, I've seen them, but I haven't talked to them. They both died recently. I dare say both their deaths were preventable. They and their friends and their family probably do not realize this. They were both, I know what they died from, it's diet related. Diet related. All right? Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it to your family and your loved ones. Don't make your death be diet and lifestyle related. Studies have shown that diet, eating correctly, drinking your coffee, eating your nuts, seeds, your beans, your mushrooms are good, your leafy greens, your romaine lettuce, your spinach, your kale, all that stuff is better than exercise in regards to keeping us alive. Does that surprise you? You always hear about the benefits of exercise. You got to exercise. You reduce your chance of having a heart attack. Exercise helps lower your blood sugar, helps lower your cholesterol, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's good. Yes, that's all true. That's true. But studies have shown diet, which is how you eat, not just going on a diet, but how you eat, has a greater effect on longevity than exercise alone. Now, if you eat healthy and exercise, you get the best of both worlds. But if you only exercise and you don't care how you eat, you can be buff. You can be a guy, you can be a girl and be built, toned up, in shape, looking beautiful, stand in front of the mirror and you're beautiful, right? Go out to the beach, people looking at, oh, look at that body, you're beautiful. And maybe have a heart attack when you're 57. Why? Because you ate a bunch of junk all your life. But you exercised enough that you toned up your body. All right? Processed meats, cut them out. Fried foods, cut them out. Added sugar, cut it out. All right. I gave you a lot of stuff in 15 minutes or so. Take with it what you will. I'm loving life. I am making plans on a lot of different things. I'm working on a lot of different things. I'm looking forward to getting back to my adopted country of Panama. I love it down there. I'm also looking to buy a house perhaps somewhere else in the United States if I ever sell this castle, that I will buy perhaps in the mountains, but you gotta be careful with the mountains now. Look at Asheville, North Carolina. Asheville, North Carolina was on my list. That area got devastated, it got destroyed, like a bomb got dropped in there. Asheville, North Carolina is probably off my list now. And that other mountain communities may be off my list too, based on that. I really gotta look at the area before I dive in and make a buy. But I gotta sell this house first. It's all part of the master plan. It's all coming together. I started when I was about 22 years old. I had a plan at age 22. I never made a lot of money in my life. I topped out before I retired at age 50, making $52,000 a year. It's my annual salary. $52,000 a year in 2018. Or I retired April 1st, 2018, so the last full year. But I got a plan at age 22. I had to tweak that plan as the years went on. I changed that plan. I modified that plan, but it worked out for me. And it's still a plan in progress. I'm still tweaking it and changing it. Okay, it's never ending. It seems like I get bored. I like to do different things. So the key is just get started, get going. And try not to get sidetracked, try not to get delayed, try not to get bumped off track. I know sometimes life throws you curveballs. You have kids get expensive, you get married, you get divorced, parents get old, parents die, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's always something. You get fired from this job, you get a new job. There's always something. You wreck a car, cop pulls you over and gives you a ticket. There's always something that happens, always. But just keep plugging away. One step at a time, one day at a time. Every day you get up, when you drink that morning cup of coffee, and do try to get organic coffee. If you buy nothing else organic, try to get organic coffee, because organic coffee has much better, studies show, health benefits than non-organic coffee. So do what you can to do it. Do what you can to help yourself. Do what you can to clear those cobwebs out. Clear out the cobwebs in that chest of yours that are clogging up those veins. And live a long, healthy life. Get wealthy along the way. And as you get older, you'll hear a lot of people say this, as you get older, life gets better. Especially when you're financially fit, when you're fiscally responsible, when you can do what you want to do without having to work a job, because 40 hours a week 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week for 40 years, that's a long time. Do 40 hours a week, do 60 hours a week for 20 years, maybe. But don't do 40 hours a week for 40 years or more. There's people that say they're going to work till they die. Don't be one of those people. Take care of yourself. All right, so that being said, Massey's going to sign out. No buyer yet for this house, so if you want to buy this castle, let me know. I'll cut you a deal. I'm also selling 2 houses in Gary. Got 2 prospective buyers. I may be selling another one. I need to sell my one that I have in my self-directed IRA. If you want to buy a house, I cannot do seller financing. I do not want to do seller financing with the one in my self-directed IRA, because my goal of selling it, I like the house. I would keep it, but I'm getting closer to that magical age of 59 and a half. And I got a plan for that money. So I want to sell that house to put the cash in there. So if you want to get a mortgage to buy it, or you got the cash to buy it, it's in Lake Station, Indiana, I will sell it to you. All right, just let me know. So with that being said, Mazke's signing out.